This is Barry Zelma on insurance. Today, I'd like to speak about the property claims investigation and why insurers require their adjusters to write a full captioned report. Insurers are large organizations with varying levels of authority for the payment of claims. The adjuster is the representative at the loss scene. He or she must report in writing to superiors with the authority to pay the indemnity required unless the claim falls within the authority provided to the adjuster, who will only then write a short closing report. Writing a clear, concise, understandable and comprehensive report is an essential part of the adjuster's job. The caption report should be written immediately after the adjuster's first meeting with the insured on every file, no matter how small. The length and detail of the report should only be limited by the extent of the loss. The caption report is written to explain to the adjuster's supervisor all the adjuster knows about the loss, so that the decisions required of them by the insurer and the law can be made. The caption report should be detailed under at least the following captions. Insurance. This should provide information about the company or companies insuring the risk, the policy number or numbers, the term of the insurance, the policy limits, special limits of liability applicable to the loss, the coverages available, the deductibles, the form numbers applicable. If there is other insurance with other insurers, details concerning the other insurance should be listed, and any unusual conditions, limitations, exclusions, or warranties. The next caption is insured. If the insured is an individual, the adjuster must determine his or her name, age, date and place of birth, social security number, state driver's license number, citizenship, marital status, names and ages of the spouse and children, etc. The information detailed may sound like exceedingly personal information that will be difficult to obtain. It is not. Ask the insured and the information will be provided. It is the adjuster's job to obtain all relevant information. Further investigation cannot be conducted without this information. If the insured is a corporation, the adjuster must report the names of the officers where the corporation is incorporated, its standing with the Secretary of State or other appropriate state agencies, the identity of the majority shareholder and its financial condition, net worth, and dividends or other profits paid to the shareholders. If the insured is a partnership, the adjuster must report the identities of the partners, the type of partnership, if a limited partnership, the name of the general partner, or if a general partnership, the names of all partners and the persons acting as a managing partner. A description of all the properties owned by the partnership, its net worth, and the financial condition of the partnership. If the insured is an estate, the adjuster must report the identity of the administrator or executor, the assets of the estate, and the identities of those who will share in those assets. Next, the insurance adjuster must report on the origin of the loss. The adjuster must answer the following questions about the loss. What happened? When did it happen? Where did it happen? Where was the insured when it happened? What was the insured doing when it happened? Who were the witnesses, and did the loss involve incendiary origin, mysterious disappearance, alleged theft, or evidence of third-party involvement? The adjuster should also cover in the report the use of statements taken by the adjuster from witnesses with summaries of the information obtained. The next caption must be potential fraud. The report must explain facts that lead to the suspicion of fraud. It should state whether the reports have been made of a potential fraud to the local police, the fraud division or Bureau of Fraudulent Claims of the particular state where the loss occurred, or other official agency for the reporting of crimes. A report of suspected fraudulent claim is mandated by the Model Insurance Fraud Act of the Coalition Against Insurance Fraud and various state statutes regarding the reporting of insurance crimes. Fraud unit or bureau statutes have been enacted in almost every state. The adjuster should be familiar with the statutes and regulations in the jurisdiction where the adjuster works and where the claim occurred. Experts the adjuster has retained would fall under the next caption, where the adjuster will report to management any experts that have been retained. For example, if a professional photographer or video operator has been used, or if a private investigators, fire cause and origin experts, expert engineers like structural and mechanical engineers or electrical engineers were retained to advise the adjuster on the cause and origin of the loss. The next caption should be about meetings with officials from authorized government agencies. The adjuster must report his or her meeting with police or fire investigators and what they observed. The adjuster discusses demands made or to be made on investigator officers for their files. As an example, California Insurance Code Section 1875 requires that an arson investigator for a police agency provide everything in a police agency file to the adjuster if the documents are determined by the agency not to cause damage to its ability to prosecute a criminal who may be responsible for the loss. Many states have adopted variations on that statute. The California Insurance Code sections are modeled to some degree on provisions recommended by the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, the NAIC. The adjuster should consider the statutes of his or her particular state when dealing with this aspect of the investigation and report. Many states have adopted the NAIC Model Immunity Act, which provides an immunity for insurers who, without malice, report information concerning suspected, anticipated, or completed fraudulent insurance acts to law enforcement officials. The next caption should be risk, a complete and detailed description of the property involved. If it is a structure claim, the adjuster should report the type of structure, its age and condition, the use to which the insured put it, the total square footage, the materials from which it was constructed, such as frame, stucco, steel, concrete, any special characteristics like an atrium, an indoor pool or spa, any unusual hazards the adjuster noted like a roof peeling off from old age, a perimeter fence about to fall, vicious dogs, or a dangerous activity being conducted by an insured are reported, such as from my experience, a man who was reloading bullets in a garage and had a 50-gallon barrel of gunpowder in his garage, operating a sausage factory in a dwelling, an upholstery shop with all necessary equipment operated as a commercial enterprise from an insured's dwelling, the presence of wild animals kept as pets. I once had a loss with a monkey, a loss with piranha fish. Very strange pets are kept by many people, and the risk of loss by some of them are more dangerous than others. The presence of explosives, gasoline, or other hazardous substances. The adjuster must also report the replacement value of the entire structure, the actual cash value of the entire structure, and the actual cash value of all the contents or business personal property before the loss. This will give information about the risk to the adjuster's supervisor and the underwriter that might cause an underwriting action to take place. The adjuster should, if replacement cost coverage is available to the insured, report on the adjuster's estimate of the replacement value of the structure and contents of the property, and that he or she has reached an agreement with the insured as to the replacement cost value and the actual cash value. The next caption should be adjustment. Under this caption, the adjuster explains the extent and nature of the damage, the type of items damaged, and the adjuster's estimate of the loss and suggested reserve. The adjuster should also cover data necessary to support information dealt with, like the preparation of estimates, meetings held or to be held, what has been discussed with the insured, what the adjuster will do from the date of the report forward, and what the adjuster has instructed others to do. Next caption should be title and encumbrances. Under this caption, the adjuster will give details as to all persons with record title, all mortgage interests, all liens against the property, and all persons with an insurable interest in the property. An insurable interest is any interest, the loss of which will cause financial and or other harm to the insured. Insurable interest has been defined as, quote, every interest in property or any relation thereto or liability in respect thereof of such a nature that a contemplated peril might directly damnify the insured, close quote. California Insurance Code Section 281. Also recognize that insurable interest is defined as including any lawful and substantial economic interest in the safety or preservation of property from loss, destruction, or pecuniary damage. When the insureds have no interest in the property, they have no right to policy benefits. Losses are often reported by people with an interest in the property, but who are not insureds. The adjuster must therefore carefully show how he or she has established the interest of the insured and all others in the property, and that people who are not named as insureds, who have no right to the benefits of the policy, are making claim. Next caption might be policy violations. Here the adjuster explains all possible policy violations. The violations may include any of the following: a delayed notice, unoccupancy or vacancy, change in ownership, other undisclosed insurance, misrepresentations or concealments of material fact on the application, warranty violations, a falsely sworn proof of loss, a misrepresentation to the adjuster about the extent of loss, a misrepresentation to the adjuster about the cause of loss, the loss is not within the policy term, or failure of the insured to protect the property from further loss, or any applicable exclusions voiding the coverage for the claim being presented. The report should also include all material changes in the risk of loss faced by the property. Then there should be a caption on subrogation and salvage. Considering that subrogation and salvage are equitable remedies allowing an insurer that pays a claim to take over the rights of the insured and recover from that person or entity who caused the damage to the insured. It is incumbent, therefore, on the adjuster to determine by the adjuster's thorough investigation who, other than the insured, was responsible for the loss, whether in whole or in part. This caption requires the adjuster to comment as to why subrogation is or is not involved. A right to recover under the equitable or contractual remedy of subrogation may arise because of the wrongful act of another or a contractual relation that exists between the insured and the persons charged with the responsibility for the insured's property. The adjuster must, to fulfill this requirement, Understand the law of torts and the law of contracts. Salvage requires comments on the nature of the salvage and its sound value. The adjuster should report any arrangements that have been made for the disposal of the salvage, including the name and address of the salvor. And finally, the last caption should be recommendations. Under this caption, the adjuster comments on the desirability of the risk and whether or not the adjuster feels coverage should be continued. The adjuster must report detailed facts to support the adjuster's recommendations. The adjuster also uses this caption to recommend additional investigation, experts, or counsel needed to complete the investigation. As the investigation continues, if not resolved quickly, at least once every 30 days, the caption report should be supplemented to advise management of the changes in the adjustment and investigation of the loss. This video was adapted from my book, The Compact Book on Adjusting Property Claims, 3rd edition, which is available as both a Kindle book and a paperback from Amazon.com. If you found this video be of interest or use to you or your colleagues, please pass it on. It's free. And please also subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Rumble channel, my blog, and my Substack publications so that you can learn of future videos and future blog postings. Thank you for your attention.